Down the stretch, you guys seem to be able to do a lot of the stuff you weren't able to do against Kansas. You took care of the ball, you were hitting free throws. I mean, can you talk about how important that was to the win today?
Well, Dev was obviously very good at the free throw line. We still miss free throws. I mean, Dax missed a couple, and JC went 1 for 2. What you don't understand unless you actually have done it, it's a lot easier to make free throws when you're up by 10 than it is when you're up by 1 or 2. And we got put in a situation at Kansas where it was a 1 or 2 point game. So, and you're talking about young guys that don't have a lot of experience. Probably shut that down just now, but that was pretty good.
Shooting overall, last several games, you guys have shot the ball better than you had before. Is there a reason?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, really, the guy who was shooting the ball before was JC, and he hadn't shot it very well. Dax has shot it much better. I don't think Jay-Sean's shooting it as well as he shot it. You know, we're making plays. We've done a really good job of keeping balls alive, getting second chances. We just get more shots. We have to live on getting more shots than the opposition.
Coach, I'm thinking throughout the course of the season, you guys kind of started off the season with Juwan missing some practices, trying to get that ankle better. There was another portion of the season where you're sick. Brandon got hurt. Devin got sick. I mean, you guys have had to overcome these kinds of obstacles throughout the course of the season. How much have those things helped with what you guys are going through right now?
Well, I think what's really helped us is that we made a decision to play a lot of people. So it's not like and Chase gave us great minutes in the first half, but we've played Chase too, and Chase has played in some big games and crucial minutes. So it's not like that's the first time they've been out there. I think that's what really helped us.
Inexperience though, and how tough it might be to make free throws as we want to. How tough is it though when you lose your two senior leaders coming down the stretch, to say nothing of losing a game like it was in Kansas, for a team not to tank it or get down on itself or think, oh God, the sky's falling?
Bob, it's not in their DNA. I mean, it's really not. I think you're all smart enough to know Brandon's probably going to have surgery when the season's over with. He's playing hurt. Nate's playing hurt. Devin's playing hurt. But they play. They play and they continue to respond. I think JC struggled a little bit. I think probably because he got thrust with all that responsibility that really Wani and Gary had before, and so he's not shooting the ball as well and doing some other things as well. But he continues to compete. He continues to guard. He continues to, Dax drives you crazy sometimes, but he makes plays. He makes plays and. I thought Devin was great today. Nate played really well, and Nate's playing hurt now. I mean, it's not a little bump. So, we got a bunch of guys that probably have some business for the hospital at the end of the year, but they're they want to play. They don't want to let anybody down.
What is Nate's injury?
We're not going to say. Because you'll put it in the paper and everyone reads your column and everyone will know, and then they'll just walk over there and smack him on what's hurt, and then we won't be able to play him.
Has either Gary or Juwan been ruled out for the rest of the season?
No.
Do you believe in momentum? And if so, what can a win like this do for you guys heading into the tournament compared to going in having lost a couple?
Well, Billy must have told him 107 times that we've never lost 3 in a row. But this is not a bunch that's going to lay it down. They're not going to lay it down. They're too competitive to lay it down. I mean, why are some people that way and other people aren't? I don't have any idea, but they're extremely competitive people. You know, Dak's shooting 47% from the free throw line. He wants to go to the free throw line at the end of the game. I mean, that's a lot of people shooting 47, they, ask out or run away from the ball. You don't run away from the ball.
Well, does it seem any different without Gary and Stapleton than more of the court's in
It's Bob. It's a lot harder for me to make as many adjustments as what I could with those guys, because those guys kind of knew what was going on and they helped get other people, where they're supposed to be. The hard thing is if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, I'm not sure there's anybody else out there that knows what to tell them, because they're having a hard time just remember what they're supposed to do. Where with Wani and Gary, because they've played so many games and been so many practices, they can tell they could tell Dax where to be, or they could tell whomever, Elijah, somebody. They could get them in the right place and kind of get them to do the right thing. Where it's hard for those young guys to do that right now.
How do you think Tariq has done handling some of the point guard duties?
He's been really good. Tariq has spent a ton of time in the gym. Tariq stepped up and made free throws. He's. I think he had. He made a 3 against North Carolina State in the Garden, and he made one against Kansas State at Kansas State. But I mean, he's not hasn't been a 3-point shooter, but he's in there all the time. I'm up in the office, I look down here, ball bouncing, he's in there. And that's the way it has to be.
What are your thoughts when your seniors are coming down the carpet, and was it any different because you knew 3 of the 4 of them weren't going to play?
I don't know. I try not to think about it too much. I get emotional, But that's what I said to Tony. Said, without, your 2 seniors, and the truth of the matter is Kevin Noreen's on scholarship. He's one of our 13 guys. So, we've got 3 scholarship guys that aren't playing. 3 senior scholarship guys that aren't playing.
Anything else? Bob, would it be most accurate to say that, after these 2, almost 3 games, the guard thing, that's the only thing that's changed? It seems like you guys kind of play the same way.
We don't have as much depth, Mike. It's we're guys are playing heavier minutes than what they did before. I don't think our pressure is as good, because obviously they get tired. So I don't think that our pressure is as constant. Our movement probably sometimes on offense isn't as good, because they get worn down a little bit. You take 3 seniors out of your deal, and now we're at 10 scholarship players, and Brandon, really, I can't play him very, very long. So, when I do play him, and so now you're down to 9 guys. Thank goodness for Chase. Chase has been great. There's a West Virginia kid who loves representing the state.
I don't know if it'd be feel like it's for all coaches, but they would probably look at what they have and try to overthink things or make someone else the focal point.
I'm not smart enough to overthink things,
I
Mike.
disagree. Would you have tried? I mean, did you consider like, all right, let's tilt a little bit, or is it, you know what, this has worked for 29 games. There's no reason to change it. We'll just ask more for more people.
If I said we're not going to do that, they'd all be bitching. I mean, they have bought in. They are 100% bought in. I'd have more problems if I said don't do it than do it, because they really believe that's been the thing that sets them apart from other people.
When you talk about buying in, Daxter was talking about the fact that he's actually made some shots here lately, but he said, you know, as long as I'm playing defense, it really doesn't matter. And I asked him if would he have ever dreamed of saying that a year ago, and of course he said no. Do you see because these guys that you recruited, you weren't playing this way when you recruited them. Did you see some surprise or any reluctance on their part at all to buy into defensive philosophy?
No, not really. I think, Dave, what I tried to explain to them is this is a way where everybody can play, and we're gonna create havoc. We're gonna take people out of offense. We're gonna make them play the way we want to play. For the most part, we haven't always, but for the most part, we have, and they bought into that. But you know, it's like anything else. Now, I mean, now all of a sudden you walk around and you see all these people wearing Press Virginia T-shirts, and it's become it's I think they have a lot of pride in it, but no, I mean, honestly, trying to sell them on it, no. I mean, we still got, you know, a guy, maybe a guy and a half that hadn't bought in. But they don't play very much either, so that's their issue. They know if they play really hard, they're going to play, and they know that the effort that we're trying to get basically comes at the defensive end. So they're going to play defense because they want to play.
Nash gets 4 baskets first 10 minutes, not a single basket the last 30.
We didn't do a very good job, and we were kind of scrambling out of stuff, and we didn't do a very good job. I thought Nate was terrific. The reason I played Nate at the end of the game, I thought Nate had the best chance to guard him. Devin would have been the next guy probably.
Moving forward, don't you guys present a number of different question marks now, and the fact that when teams are looking to scout you now, they have to not only worry about the press, but now they got to worry about, okay, well, is Juwan going to play? Is Gary going to play? What's their personnel going to be?
It's way too deep for me, Justin. Way too deep. I don't know. You always ask me, what do other people think? How don't I know? You're good at that. I don't know. I don't know whether it does or it doesn't.
Well, how could you, if you step back, I know you just come off the game, but if you could step back and look at this regular season as a whole, how would you sum it up?
We should have a couple more wins. You know, we kind of let the LSU game get away from us, and a lot of things happened. The other game where we couldn't really control. But I mean, honestly, Mitch, I thought we could win. I really honestly thought we could win. I thought playing the way we were going to play that we could win. And I'm not like people want to, are you surprised? And I'm really not surprised.
Thanks, guys.